Um, Hello, sweet summer children. We do not have an intro today due to technical difficulties, but we are here and we are back. And today we are going to be talking about Margery Tyrell.
Oh boy.
So, we're going to be talking about Margery Tyrell and the Winds of Winter and where we think her story is going to be going from here. But before we get into that, do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Yes, Nim, you go first.
Hi everyone, I'm Nim Shadow, and you can find me at Nim Shadow on Twitter and Instagram. You can DM me for access to the Gray Area Discord server and to be scheduled for the Obsidian Nights podcast.
I am Alicia. You can find me at Totes Not Alice on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram at Hangry Like the Wolf. Wolf has an E at the end of it. And you can find me here.
And I am Ara, aka I Eat Zebra. You can find me on all platforms at I Eat Zebra. Also, there is the book club. Shout out to you guys. I know you guys are already in the chat tonight. What's up, everybody?
Book club always turns up. We have book club in the Discord server every Monday and Thursday night. It's good fun. We have tourneys once a month, and that has trivia and games, and we do like a big week-long tourney every season. Every season, every spring, summer, fall, and winter. And there's prizes for all the games too.
Should we say hi to some folk in the chat?
Oh, definitely. What is going on, everybody? I see Mod Mary in the chat. OG Josh Greep, what's up? You're always here. Jess Brivtech, Marcos Targaryen. Anybody else you guys see in the chat you guys want to give shout outs to real quick?
Tanya, is it Niehaus? Niehaus? Did you say William Porter, Noel Novels, Laura Seven Ann, Bob, Jonathan Harvey, The Dragon Demands? Looks like he asked a question earlier.
Ooh, also shout out Noelle Novels. She has a YouTube channel, so you guys should go check that out and subscribe to her as well while you're at it. And I see we have Garland Tyrell, a member of House Tyrell. What's up? Good to have you here representing for your house tonight.
We're talking about the lives of your family this evening.
Yes, we will be. As you guys can see, Gray is having a little technical hiccup. She will be with us very soon.
Yes. She was proving why we don't have an intro tonight. Her Wi-Fi has been a little fritzy today, so hopefully she'll be back soon. We could probably just kick off, though, with some light stuff, going back to where we are in Margery's story. As we left her, she had just been arrested for her crimes. And, well, I mean, there's a lot of debate about that because we don't know if she actually has been a little promiscuous or if she is just the victim of a lot of lies and a lot of commitment to those lies, because Grandmaster Pycelle even says, no, yeah, I made her some moon tea and we conspired together in this. So, but we know that Pycelle is in Cersei's hand and will do whatever he wants. So we're not real sure. But there's a lot of serious charges against her, mostly lies concocted by Cersei and guys that she has talked into lying with her to get Margery imprisoned, and that's so she can take control of Tommen. She's orchestrated this, of course, with the High Sparrow, and we're probably going to touch on the High Sparrow a few times tonight, and the reign of terror that he has brought into King's Landing. But right now she's in prison, right? She has been imprisoned in the Sept.
Yep, and she's currently awaiting trial. We have a super chat actually from John Lang. Shout out to you, John. What's up? Missed you guys. Does Margery fulfill the prophecy, or is Cersei just practicing for Dany? Hashtag plug the book club. So we did plug the book club, but what were you saying, Alicia, about Margery? Sorry.
I feel like Margery Tyrell is just like a in story red herring for Cersei. And I suppose to us as well. You know, I don't know if George anticipated so many people combing over every word he said like it was the Bible.
That's got to be the most nerve-wracking thing ever.
I think it's why it's
Yes.
taking him so long. Because we're insufferable as a fandom.
See,
But
I feel like she probably is a red herring because the way she's described, she's never described as like the most beautiful girl in the land. And Cersei was, as a child, all the way through her adulthood, she's been described as just beautiful. And the prophecy says someone younger and more beautiful. So I feel like Cersei is feeling her age a little bit right now. She's been through a lot of shit. And so she's like, oh, maybe she is prettier than me. She's just kind of having like a little midlife crisis. Like she needs to buy a Ferrari and, get too much Botox. But she
and blame her and blame her washer maid for her dresses getting too tight because all she does is drink.
Yeah. But I feel like Margery is never described as more beautiful, so I don't think that she fulfills that part of the prophecy. What do you guys think?
I don't think so as well. Based on, she definitely isn't prettier than Cersei on, I guess, a public scale, kind of like how Nim just said. But not only that, but it, like the prophecy says to like take everything she holds dear. And I can see like Cersei obviously seeing Margery as a threat because she has influence and sway over her son, who is the king. And Cersei, let's be honest, is a very obsessive mom. She loves power.
Well,
she knows her son
Tommen
is a key to her power. So
Tommen's the only one left with her. Like she feels like she's already lost Marcella. And so taking everything she holds dear would be the only child that she has left to her right now.
And it's like that's thinking so short-sightedly. Yeah, to me, it's thinking short-sightedly because Marcella's still alive at this point. So Margery coming into the picture and doing that, it's not really taking everything. That's why I think that's the red herring, because I feel like taking everything from Cersei means absolutely stripping her down and completely of power and making her powerless.
So I think that Cersei, and I've said this so many times, Cersei is a textbook narcissist. And with that said, narcissists don't tend to care about their children as an individual being in that unconditional love sort of way that mothers are supposed to. Narcissists care about their children as an extension of themselves. When it comes down to it, Cersei doesn't actually care about her children, but the idea of anybody else having sway over her children is a huge slight to her. Not only is it a slight to her that Margery would have sway over Joffrey when Cersei could not, or even Tommen being a slight, but those are keys to power. And those two were the key to taking power away from Margery. So she's got it out for Margery for multiple reasons. So I can definitely, I mean, when she's thinking about, not just because of Tyrion, but when she thinks about Margery, that brings to mind what Maggie the Frog says multiple times. So
oh, we actually I was gonna say welcome back, girl. We did miss a super chat.
It's this one. Count Valerian of House Tatters. How long did it take Margery to figure out subtle Cersei was her enemy?
I think she knew right away.
Oh, I think so too.
Oh yeah. I have so many thoughts about what I think Margery is complicit to and what I think she's innocent of. It's a mixed bag with that one.
Cersei isn't subtle though. Like I feel like Cersei has like,
oh, in her mind she thinks she's subtle, but
she thinks she's so slick, and it's like, girl, you're so readable.
What's the analogy about as subtle as a sledgehammer? Exactly. In her mind, she's always like, yes, I nailed it, but you know.
We have a super chat from Didelphi Morphia. That's a cool name. Thank you for the super chat. I missed you guys so much. Was really looking forward to another live stream. Thank you guys for showing up. My internet, it's been giving me hell all day, so bear with me. We have another super chat from King Stefan Winchester. Thank you for the super chat. Margery isn't at the set. She's with Tarly. She's with Randall Tarly.
Isn't she basically kind of on house arrest?
Like, I'll just say
But she's
parole.
remanded.
Yeah, she's been released.
He's her
into
PO.
custody. Yeah.
Did I get my question out before my internet cut out?
No, girl. It was like, hey, and then it just went.
Oh,
and that was it.
So my question to the chat was, we were talking about behind the scenes before we came on. I recall in an Arian chapter in Winds, them talking about Mace Tyrell coming towards the Stormlands with an army, riding for the Stormlands with an army. But then, like, we were kind of in disagreement with if that was the case or not. So do you guys remember that from Winds? Because I feel like if he has left King's Landing, then Margery has won her trial and Margery is good.
So here's why Winds also, I mean, within Dance, it says that on paper, because whoever wrote the pink letter says that Stannis is dead. It's clearly after the battle. There are segments in Winds and Dance where the timeline is kind of jumping around because that was said in Winds with no other context. It's basically jump through time. I'm loath to spend too much time thinking. Like, me personally, I go with what's been officially released canon. And last we checked in with Mace, as far as what he was doing, not so much what his army was doing, he doesn't want to leave King's Landing. He went back because of his daughter, and I think he's staying because, I mean, he made himself that throne. He's planning on getting comfy. So if there are forces marching toward Storm's End, I highly doubt Mace Tyrell is with them.
So I was going to... Oh,
go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, so I was going to say with Mace being on the move, the Garland Tyrell, what's up again? Defending your house. I was going to say the same thing. I think Margery was found innocent, which is why I think it's a time jump. Because I believe at the end of Dance, please, somebody correct me. I know you guys will. The last we leave Aegon and John Con, they are at Griffin, was it Rook's Rest or Griffin's
Roost.
Griffin's Roost. I'm like Rook's Rest. What's this place called? Yeah, Griffin's Roost. And in the Ariane sample chapter, they already taken Storm's End.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that's obviously a significant time jump between these events. So, and we're like not that far away from Cersei and Margery's trials. They're probably within a fortnight or so, like within the events. That's going to be like the very top of Winds. Is going to be what's happening there, or wherever he decides to touch on King's Landing events, but it'll be early on in the book. So I'm assuming this means Margery was found innocent. I think her and Cersei are both innocent. No, not both innocent, sorry. They both will be found innocent. Cersei's not innocent.
Whatever it is you just took, I want some.
Cersei guilty as hell, but she gets away with it.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like there are people out there that might interpret the text as Cersei did nothing wrong ever.
No. Cersei's... Oh, God, no. Cersei's bad, girl.
Cersei fucking hates Margery.
She really does.
Do you think that Margery will go with a good old-fashioned trial or a trial by combat?
A good old-fashioned trial makes her look more innocent.
Yeah.
And so many people have already been proved as false witnesses, and she's like a good public standing, so I think she might get away with it.
Yeah. Shout out. Thanks for the super chat, San Rixian. San Rixian is actually going to join us for the Danny episode when we get to Danny. Because, you know, the Danny episode is probably going to be like 3 hours long.
We'll be here all night. I will make sure to caffeinate myself because the girls like to joke around about how I can't really hang and I turn into a pumpkin after a certain time. I'm sorry, I teach children all day. Something I did just think about though is, a lot of Cersei's evidence toward Margery just ended up incriminating Cersei in a way that only one of them is really telling the truth. And considering the fact that Cersei looks more innocent or Cersei looks more guilty, damn, I did take what you took, huh? Since Cersei is definitely more guilty. She looks more guilty. It's just going to elevate Margery's, because okay, the blue bard, Cersei got him to do this whole confession, but at the same time, she also got one of the kettle blacks, Osney, the one that got captured, and they whipped him, and he confessed that he killed the last High Septon because Cersei told him to.
I think is
She also sent him to say that he slept with Margery Tyrell, which he confessed to that too.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, his word's kind of shit now.
But shout out to Crowfoot's daughter. She had put up like this quote. I can't remember exactly what the quote was, but it implies that Margery and Aurane Waters are indeed fucking.
Oh, I can see that.
You guys think you don't know?
So
He's a cute boy. She likes him pretty.
I'll find the quote.
So I've thought for a while that Aurane Waters and Margery were, because as soon as everything goes down, that's when Aurane decides to fucking dip. Like he gets the fuck out of Dodge, and as soon as everything started happening with Margery, he goes to Cersei and he's like, yeah, okay, cool, but I'm gonna go handle this, and I'll see you later. And he just fucking leaves, and he sets himself up on the stepstones.
Well, she was definitely fucking someone, because that little girl is not.
I think it was him.
The quote.
He's like
the
married to an
quote
8-year-old.
was when Cersei called them up there to like tell them about Loras's injury.
Mm-hmm.
The wording that she uses basically implies that they were fucking.
Yeah,
and I'm here for it. And that's even more of a reason why Cersei would fucking hate Margery.
That would be quite poetic.
Because she has such a white on for Aurane.
Yeah,
that would be so damn poetic.
It would be beautiful.
It would be poetic.
I love
One
it.
thing I did want to pick y'all's brains about is I really need to talk about the Purple Wedding with you guys. Because I think that it's not massive discourse, but I have seen in the past people actually quite politely debate back and forth about whether or not Margery knew that there was poison in the cup. I think she definitely knew.
Oh, she knew.
Like that, I'm sorry, but you're too much chance taken that you just end up killing your cash cow in the form of a 16-year-old girl. I don't know. I feel like she definitely knew, which... Okay.
She would have to have known to not take a drink out of the same cup. I mean, he probably wouldn't have shared it with her anyways, but in the event that he did, she would have known better. But I definitely think she knew. Olenna and her are like, how do I put it? Like, she's like Olenna Jr., and I feel like Olenna taking that type of step wouldn't not involve Margery, especially when it concerns her.
Yeah.
Like, I think in the show they made it. I think the show played it that Margery like didn't know, but I don't believe that for a second. I think she's very cunning. She's a very smart girl.
Yeah.
There's no way she didn't know. She knew.
We have a super chat from Josh Gripe that we did not get around to.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for the super chat, Josh. Triple OG Josh in the Discord. What y'all think of the theory that Loras' injuries are fake and the Tyrells are hiding him to fight in a trial by combat on Margery's behalf? Oh, I've never heard that theory. I like that.
So he was but he was reported injured long before Margery was ever arrested.
That's true.
That doesn't mean, it would.
And there were a lot of witnesses.
Theories. Yeah, I've seen theories that he's not actually that injured. However, as far as like that particular theory, timeline wise, because if you remember that scene where Margery went to Cersei went to Margery to tell her the news about Loras, and she says something about wanting to lick the tears off of Margery's cheek or something like that. She was and that's when Margery finally put 2 and 2 together. Like, you stupid, not finally, but enough to speak out to her. Like, you stupid, evil, conniving bitch. Like, why would you say that to me? So they were both free at that point.
Yeah. And it was a good long time. Like you said, I think it was like even before Cersei had started making the moves with the new, her new decoy dude to say that she had slept with him. It was when the first one fell through and then before the second one. So it was probably like a month prior, because we hear a lot of updates about Loris while Margery is still free.
And it's not Loris giving the like talking about the injuries himself. It's other people giving their testimony to his like what causes injuries. And they even said like his like seizing of Dragonstone was like unnecessary the way he did it.
Mm-hmm.
Just storming the castle. Very
he wanted it done quick.
Yeah.
Right.
That's how you know he's bad in bed.
Well, he's an impulsive teenager, so
he is an impulsive
Renly
teenager.
would beg to differ.
Well, maybe in medieval times it was a bit slim pickings, you know.
I was gonna say he probably didn't have a lot of choices. He had to do with what he had.
I mean, it is Renly. Like Renly's hot. Loris is hot too. Oh, we have a super chat.
That doesn't mean you're good in bed.
Maybe
I think
maybe they don't care.
Maybe they don't. They just love each other.
Yeah.
Except I don't. Okay.
I guess. Just let it rock.
Listen. Personally, I feel like Renly doesn't love anyone but himself. I think that he loved the perks that came along with the Tyrells. It's just that Loris wasn't too bad on the eyes, and Loris could fight, and Loris was willing to be on his rainbow guard. Look, I just feel like everything with Renly is a transaction. So just so happens to be enjoyable perks along the way for him.
Yeah.
That's not me standing Stannis. I just think Renly's a piece of shit.
Oh, Renly's lusty.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I like it. I love the green armor. We have a super chat from Lauren Griffith. Thank you for the super chat. Straight simping on at I Eat Zebras Twitter lately. Love all the lady crew as always, spilling all the juice/tea. Thank God it's Friday. DWC fam, good night. Oh, she's got to go to sleep. Yes, thank you.
Have a nice night. Thanks for stopping by.
Super jelly.
Yeah, follow all these ladies on Twitter. They have some interesting stuff going on the Twitters. I'm just kidding.
I feel like I've just been mean on my Twitter lately.
I had
something that I think is stupid, and I'll be like,
I was
"Fuck
on
you."
vacation, so I was on vacation, so that's some nice content.
I think we were.
I saw that content. It was quite nice. It was quite nice.
It was very nice. Very nice.
I'm normal now.
So I have a question for you guys about the trials and what you think the High Sparrow, what his role is going to play. Now, he was reinstated politically. He was reinstated through the king. So I would think that whatever would keep the king happy would be how he would let this play out. And he will have the power to sway the outcome one way or the other. And I think given Tommen's age, that he would be more apt and more willing to take Cersei's side and keeping Cersei happy as regent. So I think Margery is going to be found guilty, and I think Cersei is going to be found innocent.
See, I don't think Cersei's going to be regent.
I do.
Is she already regent? Because
when we left off, it was Kevin.
Kevin Lannister's dead,
but he died.
Yeah, but Mace's hand. So it'd make more sense.
Get rid of but listen,
Cersei's just been publicly shamed in his own trial. It's not a good look to make her regent.
Ned Stark was hand.
I don't know why I just did this. That was embarrassing. Hey, one hand. I'm so tired. Great. Now thousands of people are going to see me being like, okay. Hey, one thing that we have to consider is we have some sand snakes heading towards King's Landing. So that is a huge factor in whatever is about to go down between the
And they don't like the Tyrells.
They're sitting on the small council when they get there.
They don't like the Tyrells.
They don't like anyone.
Don't like them.
The
Lannisters don't like them either. Yeah, they don't like either of them.
Yeah.
And they don't like the Lannisters more than they dislike the Tyrells, because like Lannisters took Elia, Oberyn, like they have like active beef with the Lannisters.
But I could see them like fake supporting Cersei. And like, oh yeah, because you're a woman in Dorne, you have these rights. But I kind of feel like it would be to put Myrcella, to do something with Myrcella.
So here's my question. There are parts of me that feel like it's going to be way too cliche if Tyene ends up poisoning somebody, but at the same time, I feel like someone's gonna get poisoned. Who's your pony you're picking here?
Mace.
I was thinking that too, because he's got the big belly, so they can make it look like he just ate something wrong and shit his whole existence out, including his
Exactly.
organs. You know, I bet there's a poison for that in
I
Westeros.
think
You just give out your organs.
I think Mace is gonna die like Ned Stark.
I don't think Cersei's going to have that much
Treason.
power off, like, just coming from where she's coming from. Because figure right now, Kevin Lannister just died. So, and the Grand Maester just died. I believe the Tyrells currently are holding more power within the small council itself already. Like, Mace Tyrell's cousin, I think it is being named to some position on the council. And, like, a few other people. They have, like, a couple people in place. I think there's a Red Wine now in charge of the ships. So that's kind of like they hold the power in court. They have more men. Their men are like more fresh because figured the Lannisters have been at war for a while now.
Yeah.
The Tyrells have been out, so they have like fresh troops, a lot of people. They hold more power. Cersei just got publicly shamed, and she's on trial. Somebody needs to take over the regency, and there's a precedence for hands having regencies at the same time. I could see either Mace taking that role or seeing Randall Tarley coming in as hand and Mace taking the regency. Because Randall Tarley's not that far away, and it makes sense, and he'd probably want to keep Randall close. And Randall's capable, and I think he's an asshole, but I do think he would be a good fit for that position.
Yeah, I think Randall's actually going to want to stick as close to King's Landing as possible because of his support, and we can all agree he's definitely supporting Fagon.
Oh, absolutely. He's a
once
target
Aegon,
list.
once
going
Aegon,
over.
I think Aegon's not Aegon. I think Randall Tarley will be the one to pull the Maester Pycelle. But let open the gates for somebody, and that'd be like Fagon, and he'd be the one to like stab them in the back and like kind of take over from there.
Greyways Tim says Tyene will be caught up in the Sept Blast. Do we think the Sept Blast is going to happen?
No, I think there's going to be like a citywide blast if there's a blast at all. I think the show used the Sept
They just
because
don't
it was
like
something
building.
that's significant. Yeah, it was something that was significant to a casual viewer because the Sept made it into quite a few episodes every single season. It was a way to utilize the wildfire instead of just like it's sitting there like Chekhov's gun that doesn't go off like other elements in
It was
the
the way
show.
of telling us that there was wildfire in the city.
Yes, also I think it was their way of, I don't think it was like big enough that they would name it and they're like big three of big shocks from George, but I think it was something that George told them, like there would be.
Yeah,
and
they didn't
it's
think
just
of
like,
that.
I
They
have
didn't think
something
of
real
that
burning to
info.
say.
Yeah.
I don't even think it was all that. I think it was a convenient way to just get rid of mad characters at the same time, trim the fat, and get the story.
I was going to
finished
say
faster.
that too. I think that they
wipe them all out and let's
that
move
too,
forward and
and
get
I
this
think
done.
I think they always had in mind that Dany was going to destroy King's Landing, and it's a little hard to destroy an already destroyed King's Landing. So they just, and you know what? That was the best television I've ever seen in my life. So
it was really good.
I love that episode. It's like one of my favorites. But yeah, don't think it's happening, and I really think the show only did it just to eliminate as many characters as possible.
Well, one of the big theories about these trials or circling Margery's trial and Cersei's trial was the Mountain versus the Hound. And we know we got a little Mountain versus the Hound action. Super sad. It's kind of badass, but it almost felt like phony on the show in season 8. Like it kind of felt forced.
I was super disappointed in Clegane Bowl.
Yeah.
I was like, really? I mean, watching Qyburn get his face smashed against that fucking rock was pretty good. Like, I liked that. I rewound it and watched it a couple of times.
It was so quick.
Cersei walking down the steps like,
she's like,
just gonna walk past this.
That was
no.
That was actually such like, I don't know if they meant it to be funny, but it was like the best comedic timing in an otherwise super intense episode.
You can see how talented Lena Headey is. That was so like just the way she like her body language was perfect.
Someone in the chat said there's no wildfire under the set. We don't really know. There's wildfire caches everywhere. along the city.
We've been told
Yeah,
the heiress hid what caches of wildfire all over the city. And that means multiple different places. So I'm guessing that it's under the dragon pit, that it's under the sept. That
I feel like it
Everywhere.
would be really
All the
weird for
landmarks.
Eris to be like, put it here, here, here. But you know what? I like the sept. It's pretty. Don't touch the sept.
Even though all my ancestors are
it's the sept
cremated.
of Baylord.
Yeah.
Don't you dare.
Yeah.
No, he got it ready to destroy the entire city.
Yeah.
And he said burn them all. That means everybody.
Yep.
So that wildfire's everywhere.
Oh,
So
definitely.
Jamie
they
Lannister
say. Oh, you were gonna say that
the alchemist says they removed it in A Clash of Kings.
I don't believe them.
I was gonna say, do we trust them? Because
No.
they were kind of the
I'd
original
say
ones.
it.
I mean,
I'm like, no,
gonna
yeah,
go
we
check.
totally got rid of those.
Is that what they're saying? Like, is that what he was saying? He gave it to Tyrion when he gave it to Tyrion. But I thought they were making it because dragons were alive again. So they were
Right.
making it.
it's
were
a
able
fair
to move it.
assessment, though. It's a fair assessment. What Jamie Lannister says, I just think it's everywhere. I don't think Aerys would stop under any particular building because his whole plan was to bring everybody down with him.
And I don't
Yeah.
think they
Yeah, so
move
they're
all of that to
saying
one area.
they're saying that it was there, but the alchemists are saying that they removed it for Tyrion.
So Mercy Waters said removed to where? The Blackwater Bay.
They removed the
I don't
wildfire
know.
under the dragon pit, but made no mention about the sept.
Mm.
Yeah, and it's probably, again, it's all over the place. Only that I don't trust these people.
I don't
Yeah.
trust what they say.
No.
But I also don't think that Dan and Dave could have made that up. I feel like that scene was too good.
I feel like the whole, I don't know.
You know, even a broken clock is right twice a day. They got rid
Yeah.
I feel like that
Exactly.
could have been just written for like George. They had some good episodes that weren't necessarily written by George. I
Which
can't
one?
name them off the top of my head, but I just in my heart I know they're there.
I'm
No, they
telling
are.
you,
They did. Like
just-
Hard Home was really good.
I was
Hard
gonna
Home
say,
really good.
yeah, Hard Home, exactly what I was gonna say.
But that sequence of events was so badass. I think
No, it
they
was
should
really
answer
good.
that. They should answer that in a question, in a poll. Did you, if you ever see this video, Dan and Dave, did you write that or did you get it from George?
bitches.
Oh, another good
So
scene.
I will
the scene
say,
with Robert and
Oh.
Cersei in season 1. The scene with Robert and Cersei in season 1, they made that up. The fight, like, who's the more powerful army, 5 or 1?
and Lena
I like that
knocks
scene.
that acting out of the park when she just kind of
She's so good.
won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we missed a super chat.
Did we?
Or did we get to it? That's Scott Michael Dowling super chat.
No,
Nope.
we had it and then it went away. Yeah.
Since the Faith Militant was reinstated, will they push a trial of the 7 for the trials of the 2 queens? Thank you for the super chat, Scott Michael Dowling.
That would be exciting.
I would love to see a trial of the 7. I don't think it's going to get that far.
I think it will.
Great.
I think it might for Margery, unless her charges get dropped. I think her charges will probably get dropped. Honestly, I don't think she's actually going to trial, TBH. But in the event she goes to trial, they would probably do the trial by 7. I think she'll be found innocent. Cersei is definitely having a trial. She's going to do it by combat. I don't think they're going to pull a thing in the show where Tommen's like, "Oh well, no more trial by combat." Ah, ha, ha. Like that's not happening.
I'm a little
Like, that's-
bitch.
Yeah, like that's like, first of all, you really set your mom up for that. You know what you were doing. Like he was
Yeah.
older in the show too. Like you knew what that meant. Like, come on, bro. But yeah, who's beating the mountain in the fight?
The
So,
Hound, and only the Hound.
But how would the Hound get down to King's Landing in time without being captured by somebody else and turned in for like a bounty to fight for the Faith Militant?
Well, there are plenty of people think that fuckface McGee, what's his name? The
Loris.
cousin.
Not Loris, Lancel.
Lancel?
There
What a
we
stupid
go.
fucking name. What does Robert say? What a stupid name.
Yeah.
Your mother was a whore.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Some
there's
people
only one
think
fat
that
Lannister,
he's
even
going
though
to,
she's
but
yours.
here's the deal: like the Mountain, he's definitely going to be Cersei's muscle. She's going to use him in a trial by combat, which is why I don't think she's not. Listen, the High Sparrow, I believe he's got too much stock in her being found guilty, to be honest, because that leaves if you think about it, it leaves such a power vacuum that he would be able to just be like, oh, well, I guess I'm de facto ruler right now. And we all know how organized religion works oftentimes. So it's a good in for organized religion to run the show.
Mhm.
There's stock, and I feel like he has a lot of investment in making sure that Cersei is found guilty.
I can't wait.
Margery, I don't think Margery
Oh,
is Margery. I don't think he gives a fuck if she's innocent or guilty, to be honest. Cersei, though,
Honestly, I think it's like for them, it'd be good PR for Margery to be found innocent because she has such a good public image. Like she's seen helping the poor, and like the common people would be upset at the death of Margery and Margery's
and also
guilt.
they look merciful.
They hate Cersei. Exactly. They hate Cersei. So if Cersei's found guilty, they would love that. Like, and it would also empower the common folk, if you will, because they'd be like, oh, if someone as mighty as Cersei Lannister can be brought down, like nobody's safe. And I feel like that kind of like riles up that, so it can start even like a revolution of sorts. Like I feel like we always talk about like infighting between the houses, but like a revolution of the common, like the small folk. Couldn't think of the word, but like a revolution of the small folk could even be on the horizon.
Do you guys think that Margery could marry Aegon?
She'll try.
She'll try, but she's not gonna.
John Con will. I don't even think Aegon would need Margery to shut that down necessarily. I don't think he'd go for it. I think he can see for himself, like, let's look at your repertoire of
two
husbands.
Kings, one dead,
three kings.
Oh, three kings, yeah.
Yeah, two dead.
One and one possibly on the way.
And you're probably still saying you're a virgin.
Well, it's true that she didn't consummate either of those marriages.
I don't know. You never know. I don't know. Maybe Renly could have done the deed. Who knows? Because the thing is, it's not like, because sexuality is such a spectrum. He could have found her very pretty enough to consummate a marriage with her, or even try to put a child in her to solidify the alliance. You never know.
What does she say in the show? You can turn me around and pretend I'm Loras.
Yeah, that whole scene was like, she's like, or I can bring him in and he can get you started. And I'm like,
when Cersei is like looking at her, and she's like, I remember when Jamie and me used to look at each other like that, and she's like laughing to herself. I think Cersei's an absolute maniac at this point.
Yeah.
When she's like just going insane in her head, she thinks that Margery and Loras are fucking.
Oh yeah.
Because
girl, that's just y'all.
Cersei suffers from the affliction of, what was it Dario said to Jorah in season 3 or whatever? You have a suspicious mind. In my experience, only suspicious people think that way. Mm-hmm. A lot of the time people, not every time, it's not like an all-encompassing rule of thumb, but oftentimes when people think the worst of other people, it's because it's how they themselves would think. So for Cersei, she's got 2 brothers. She's literally trying to kill one, and she fucks the other one. She has no normal sense of a healthy, affectionate relationship with a sibling. So in her mind, it's like they get along. They're fucking. Yeah. They are fucking.
Oh, I was going to say, actually, I have a possible marriage proposal for Margery. What do you guys think of Edric Storm?
Ooh.
I am on that boat of Edric Storm teaming up with Aegon. I'm gonna stop calling him Fagon. I'm gonna start calling him Aegon, guys. Don't ask why, but yeah. So Aegon is going to team up with Edric Storm. I think once he takes King's Landing, he's gonna be like, all right, you're legitimized because Stannis may and or may not be dead at this point, and nobody really cares if he's alive or not, and somebody needs to take Storm's End, and he has it, so make him a legitimate Baratheon, and then Marjorie's probably going to want to get Aegon because she likes power, but he's going to be like, no. And be like, well, you like Baratheons, you might as well go to this one. It'll be kind of a slight because technically he was a bastard, but it's also like, it could be worse because if Cersei's found guilty, that means Tommen's going to be stripped of power. Because he's a bastard.
It's a very good possibility that a lot of the big events that we've seen in the past of this world building, especially from our universe expansion books like A World of Ice and Fire, Fire and Blood, and Dunk and Egg, are going to repeat themselves at some point, which we have a lot of that going on already. So a lot of bastards being legitimized, it's already starting with Ramsay. So it wouldn't be, completely out of left field for that to happen.
And John being legitimized by Robb.
Well, yeah, John was given the option too.
But it also parallels with the past. Like when Aegon conquered Westeros, he did it with Orys Baratheon.
I have a question. Do we know what order the trials are going to be in? Like, I think Marjorie's trial is first, and Cersei's is, like a opening band,
a docket
headline.
Is the court?
Yeah, because
we would think because Margery was arrested way before Cersei was,
right?
So you would think that hers would come first.
So
but
I believe
the severity of the crimes might be what dictates who goes first, and you would think incest would be the more severe crime, so they might try Cersei first.
But they also love a good show, and what better way to gear up for a good show than make it a finale of sorts? I do think that Marjorie's trial is going to come first. I think she's going to be found innocent, and I believe that Cersei's going to go for a trial by combat with Robert Strong / undead Gregor Clegane, and honestly, I think that even if something happened to Cersei and she went west if Margery and Aegon were to cross paths, I don't know, as stupid as Mace Tyrell is, I don't know if Olenna would really allow him to try to broker another marriage with the king. She might at that point be like, bring my baby girl home. We Olenna's smart enough to put these, and she's safe at High Garden.
So I feel like it is safe for the Tyrells, like the Tyrells and Cersei. They don't they want Margery to be found innocent, but if they're smart, which Olenna is, they don't want Cersei to be found guilty, because if Cersei's found guilty, your daughter's not a queen. Tommen is a bastard. Tommen has no right to the throne.
Well, we also have to consider, once again, the political side that's happening along with all of this. There's a lot of incentive for Margery to be found guilty. And the very least of which would be the small folk rioting and creating chaos. And
they love her.
A wonderful situation for Aegon to step in. I mean, it would be the perfect circumstances. So we've got Varys that's probably going to back that as well, because he wants Cersei in the Red Keep right now, because he knows it's the enemy, he's got pull there. And if he's pulling for Aegon, now Ara's got me doing it for Fagon, then the small folk rioting would be the perfect opportunity for him to sweep in and say, hey, I'm here to save you all. I can, I'm the answer. I think that chaos would be a good opportunity for him.
The crowd's applauding in Dany's vision. That makes
the Mummer's Dragon.
The reason why I started calling him Aegon instead of Fagon is because his name is actually Aegon, and that's kind of just like the fair thing to do. But
yeah, I agree.
No secrets.
I agree, and I am not convinced that he's fake, and I am also not convinced. I am convinced that we will never know one way or the other.
Listen, I just realized Margery might end up being a hostage to Fagon and company. because at the moment she is in Randall Tarley's custody. Randall Tarley is definitely a team.
The friends in the
Targaryen
Reach.
Yep, the friends in the Reach. I think that, which means if she's a hostage, she'll most likely be kept in King's Landing or wherever they make camp, which will be King's Landing, which means when Dany comes along and she probably has a little accident with Dragonfire that ignites some wildfire, then we could very much be looking at Margery Tyrell indeed goes up in wildfire flames, just not necessarily carbon copy of how the show did it.
Right.
Yeah, I think of her being as a hostage, like a Sansa style hostage.
Yeah, so we might not necessarily see her try to go for another marriage, because like the more we talk about who do you think she'll try to marry, I just got bored in my mind thinking about it, and I'm probably not alone in that camp. So it's probably just a card that's been played over and over. I think she's gonna be a hostage and then she's gonna die in wildfire.
If Margery marries you, it's foreshadowing that you're gonna die at this point.
She's like a Black Widow.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
she could
honestly,
be like a Rohan Weber. Except Rohan Weber, she did end up, she disappeared before her last husband could die, and she ended up being, what is she, Tywin's grandmother?
Yeah.
So that's quite a legacy she passed on.
Also, I looked up the map to
this.
King's Landing, and even if the wildfire was removed from the Sept, the Guild Hall of the Alchemists is like right next to the Sept. It's like right there. So
that makes sense.
And there's fucking tunnels. There's tunnels all through King's Landing, so you know that there's got to be some way for them to get some in there if Cersei tells them to. Like, it would not be difficult. Yeah. They're literally like next to each other.
Yeah. Oh, we missed a super chat from Garland Tyrell a while ago, by the way.
Oh. And we also, so while I'm finding the one from Garland Tyrell, we have one from Sandy Hartcorn. Thank you for the super chat. Cersei loves to think of herself as Tywin with teats. Think we will see a botched attempt of her trying to reigns of Castamere the Tyrells if she finds out they killed Joffrey.
Well, I do think that the Tyrells will,
I don't. The way it went out down in the show was convenient because it looked like Olenna was the last of the Tyrells, but in the books they have it's a huge family. Margery has like a bunch of siblings. Like, I don't think Cersei's gonna find it. Well, she might, because she's already on because they left the coin where Kevin's body was. Like, Varys left it there to try to like put that thought in Cersei's mind that they're behind it. So she might click that together, and I don't know.
Right, and they did that before with the coin in the black cells under the shit bucket in the corner.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's so weird to me. The part that blows my mind is Cersei suspects Margery of everything that Marjorie's not doing, but the one thing that Margery is complicit in that could flip Cersei's world upside down, that's not even on her fucking radar. Yeah. Like, the death of, like, the Tyrells behind the death of Joffrey is just not clicking for her, and I think it's just
she's so gung-ho.
She hates Tyrion so much.
He's such a stupid ass.
It's like right in front of her too.
Greyways Tim got it for me. Okay, thank you for the super chat, Garland Tyrell. Does anybody else think Taena Merryweather was working secretly for the Tyrells against Cersei? Of course, I do.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Absolutely, and she committed. She fucking committed to that role. Like she went all in.
She let herself get finger banged.
Yeah, she did.
Finger banging.
I'm surprised. You know what? I am surprised and kind of disappointed in us that this is the first time we're talking about the marriage swamp on this podcast. Yeah. Shame on us.
I mean,
we've just been talking about.
I've seen a lot of people talking about how useless and like superfluous that scene was for George to write, and I wholeheartedly disagree with that. Throughout all of Cersei's POVs, all we hear about in her scheming little brain is, I should have been a man. And she wants that power that is inherent with manhood in this world so badly that she wanted to feel what it was like to have that power as a man in the bed. I don't think that was out of character or weird or out of left field and superfluous just to, write something dirty at all. I think that it is very indicative of who Cersei is on a very deep, intimate level. And
it tells you exactly what's going through her head as she's doing it. She is, it's literally, I mean, I'm not saying like, I mean, it seemed it was consensual between the two of us, but it was, or the two of us, hey, Mandy. It seemed like it was consensual between the two of them, but at the same time, I felt like while she was doing it, it was basically a trauma response, thinking about all the times that Robert absolutely abused her, basically. And she's like, I want to know what it was like, what was going through his head, why he did it. So
and it clearly wasn't something like superfluously sexual because she didn't allow her to reciprocate. It wasn't something like a lustful need. It was a really deep part of her that wanted to live through that power trip and the, like you said, the abuse that she came to at the hands of it. And I think that she's gotten so close to Tana that, which is weird because she's so careful with everyone else, but for whatever reason, she like lets her in a lot of her very secret places, no pun intended, that she doesn't allow other people, and a lot of the spaces that she keeps like to herself and a lot of the thoughts that she keeps to herself. And she was a really good plant by the Tyrell.
Yeah. But
She was a really good plant.
And
Cersei's not dumb.
Cersei knows she's a plan. She's like, oh, I only give her the information I want to give her. And it's like,
she gives her everything
all the time.
Right. That's always like that bitch that's like, I'm so private, I don't tell nobody nothing, but they tell them everything.
I was
like that's
so
Cersei.
mad. They were like Regina George and Gretchen Wieners when Jamie came in there. They're like, and Tina's like, oh, it's your hero brother. And it's like, it was, I hated it. Like they were just mocking Jamie.
It was, what was great about Taina as a plant is she gave, I think the Tyrells were like, tell Cersei we're doing this, that like they gave her information to give Cersei so that Cersei definitely felt like Taina didn't fuck with the Tyrells, So yeah. Do we think it's Taina?
I think it's Tana because that's the SOC.
Yeah, you're right.
I think I call it Taina. Does Roy Dotrice call it Taina?
Probably.
Roy Dotrice is not
a mess with pronunciation.
Pitire.
Baelish. His
Drogo voice is my favorite part.
I love his Arya voice.
No. Every time someone says no, in my head it goes no.
Okay, like I'm used to when he does small little girls, I'm always like, throw me out of a fucking window now, please.
No, I love when he does Arya.
When he does Shireen, I'm just like, okay, I think I love Roy Dotrice.
Do you like Arya?
When he does, sorry, I'm getting worked up. When Patchface is involved in a scene and it talks and it does a little onomatopoeia, it's like clang, clang, it creeps me the fuck out. Just thinking about this motherfucker shambling along while Roy Dotrice is like clang, clang, da-dong, schlong.
Yeah. But I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
All right, babe.
Give me the clangs and the clongs and the tires and the breens.
I will say, when he reads the sex scene between Lysa and Pitire, it just sends me. It just sends me.
So, what is the other brother? I'm bad with the names of Margery. Willis. Do you think he will be involved at all in anything? Because he's like the Castellan, right, of Highgarden.
He's the one with the injured leg, right?
Yeah, the one that Oberyn,
right?
Yeah,
okay.
He's the heir, correct?
It's so funny that the Tyrells beef with Oberyn about it because Willis and Oberyn, weren't they pen pals? Like,
Yeah, like
Yeah, I know you didn't mean to, bud.
they went out back for a beer and like slapped each other on the shoulder and we're totally cool with it.
They
But
slapped
like,
each other on the butt and we're cool
that's
with
true.
it.
That's
Yeah.
true.
That's
But
what
no,
it was.
everybody else is still like really.
And like, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't blame Willis.
I feel that.
Oberyn.
But everybody else is still like really bent out of shape about it, and they're like, guys, like, we're cool.
Yeah.
Okay, super unpopular opinion, but I can totally picture Oberyn with a very toned, but not very big ass. I can see Willis with like junk in his trunk.
I can't stand you.
Lathan said that they slept
love
more
you.
than that. They might have slapped trunks, guys.
Ooh, and
Sword
do
fights.
not let your kids stay up for the stream tonight.
Who has their kids watch our streams at this point anyway?
Well, they're watching on replay, Alicia.
This is gonna replace
Watch this
Tony's
with
late night
headphones.
streams.
Sorry, children.
Watch this with
Ignore the
headphones.
no words.
Oh, you know
Parental
what? You're
advisory.
right, because people, I was thinking of it as like something that got deleted later, like Tony's late night
Tony's.
streams.
No, yeah.
Oh, here's it.
Man, my
Yeah.
dad is gonna watch this later when he
So
finally
Willis,
buys
huh? So I think Garland though. Garland's the showboaty one, right? That's like already married, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're in
he's gonna show
Brightwater
up.
Keep right now.
He's definitely
Josh.
showing up.
Josh
He
Gregg
was the
says
only-
Oberyn and Willis jousted with a different type of lance.
Oh. They sword fighted.
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 But no, Garland is in Brightwater Keep with his wife. That's
Yes.
their new keep, and the Florences are like salty about it. But that's what happens when you throw your weight behind the quote unquote one true king.
Ooh. Jamie Lannister in the chat says something interesting. Willis and Garland will probably be involved in the war against the Ironborn in Euron.
That's true.
That makes
Because
sense.
they are
They have their hands
about
full.
to, like, yeah, Old Town. Yeah.
Because
They got to defend Old Town.
did the Red Wine fleet ever make it up to Cersei was holding them up to get to, I believe.
Oh, the Red
where
Wine
they're going.
twins?
The red
Yeah,
one?
No,
I
the
think
Red
they-
Wine fleet. The fleet. Oh my god. Cersei was holding up the fleet
Pax
because they
the
need
Red
the
Wine.
fleet for something, and I'm trying to remember if they made it. Oh my
Have a
god.
The
fleet.
red wine
Guys.
fleet is off the coast of Dorne. We learned that in Ariane's first Winds of Winter chapter when she is she's at oh my god, help. Where is she?
Oh, at the place
Head.
in the
Who?
Arya Martell. She's in Dorne.
She's
with
at
the horses and
the-
stuff, right?
The serpent.
right, the dragon biting its tail. What
Yeah.
house is that? Where are
Mullen.
I
Helen.
can see their sigil, Tom. Thank you.
I'm
Okay.
like, they had a horse ride. Horse race.
I had a little horse
There was a
ride.
girl there. She was giving prophecy out.
Yeah.
Too many squeaks for a little chubby girl.
Danny's the dreamer, come again. But they talk
Yes.
about the red wine fleet being off the coast of Dorne, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So then, so they can just turn right back around because if they get word of the Ironborn coming to Old Town, they're going back to Old Town.
Okay, so
I mean, they're not that far.
Greyways Tim in the chat just said, those guys are never where they're supposed to be.
They're not,
They're
though.
not.
That's
So
Not.
true.
That's
Is this
so
like
true.
is this supposed to be a
Unreliable.
joke that we're not picking up on? That like
Okay, we are almost on an hour, and we said we were going to stream for 1 hour today. And if you have any questions about Margery Tyrell, ask them now. But also, this is the time where you guys get to vote for who we cover next week. And if you want Samwell Tarly, pick books.
if you
Books
want
emoji.
Ariane Martell,
Sons.
sons, boobies.
If you want Ariane Martell, pick Sons.
This is some bullshit.
Oh wait, we need another person.
No, it's Sam. I did Sam, and they did Arya and Martell.
Ariane.
Oh, I mean, don't we have other people we can pick from too?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Edric Storm is super trying to ask whose fault it is that we're only doing 1 hour. You know what?
Kind of all of
Edric?
us.
It's our little
Edric?
pumpkin.
Well, Alicia, but also my internet.
The
keeps cutting
fuck? She
out.
just threw me under a bus.
It's me and Alicia.
Well, Alicia, but I mean, we're not going to point fingers or name names. Listen, I am tired.
I have a character.
I'm up. I'm up at 5 a.m. every morning. I work with children. Right now it's summer. I oftentimes work with children in the heat because I get them extended recess because it's summer school. The thing about children is they borrow from your energy stores and they don't give it back at the end of the day. So by the time I get around to doing this stream, I turn into a pumpkin. I do. So I requested tonight, because I've been particularly tired this week, that we keep the stream to an hour. And Edric, I'm sorry. I will find a way to make it up to you, bruh. But tonight I just can't hang.
I hate to cut you off just because I really want to get this out before you guys like smash me in the votes. I have somebody I want to suggest.
Okay.
Varys and throw a spider.
Yes, bitch.
So if you want Varys, put a spider. If you want Ariane, put a sun. And if you want Samwell, put books. Put books for me. I want to do Samwell this year. This year. Please do Samwell Tarly. We have a super chat. Let me see if I can grab it. Oh, here it is. Super chat from Natalie Smith. I just love and appreciate you all immensely. We love you too.
Thank you, Natalie.
Oh, wait. I know we were about to end soon. I did have one question for you guys just because I wanted to get this out before I forgot about it. Mm-hmm. How do you guys think Margery's going to die? Because I possibly think there's going to be a grayscale plague and she's going to die in it.
Ooh.
That's how I think she's going out. If it's not wildfire boom boom,
she's going to try to
wildfire boom boom.
I don't think she's going to die. I don't think she's going to die.
Really? I don't know. I see her having a really tragic death because she gives me really like, it also is because I watched the show, but she gives me major Anne Boleyn vibes. And I just feel like she's going to have this like very tragic ending to her tale.
Yeah. So. I think that she doesn't need to die. Like nothing of her story needs to die, but I could see her like a tragic ending for her is like very poetic for Margery. But I would like her to live, and I think that she is set up to live if she beats this trial, but she needs to like stay out of politics. Like she needs to just go find a lord like Edric Storm and call it a day. Like stop shooting for kings.
Okay, but I think a lot of it is definitely, which is so ironic because she played Anne Boleyn in The Tudors, but she is an Anne Boleyn. She's an Anne Boleyn figure, for sure. And I'm sorry, but Anne Boleyn was very much pressured and groomed by Thomas Boleyn to be queen.
To seduce Henry
so it
VIII,
would really be so to me it's not Margery acting on her own. If Olenna and Mace Tyrell can get her to cut it the fuck out, she'll cut it out.
Because figure Renly was trying to plot to make her Robert's mistress. So it's like very similar. What about you, Nim?
Yep.
How is she going out? She living? She making it out to the end? Do you think she's dying?
I feel like she's going to die. I think that she has been through a lot, and it's kind of built her up to do something else because she has come out of each marriage smelling like a rose and just moving on to the next one. And so we're going to be expected to expect that of her, but I don't think it's going to happen. Okay. I think that she's I'm really behind the idea that she's going to be found guilty, that something is going to happen and she's going to be found guilty, or there is a riot in King's Landing when Cersei is found innocent and she gets caught up in the riot somehow, tending to the poor in an orphanage, and she gets caught up in the riot somehow and killed.
And there's no hound there to save her.
Right.
Like Sansa.
Right.
Oh, that's sad. We have another super chat from Swagger Dagger. Thank you for the super chat, Swagger Dagger. And we have
our Discord dudes.
Yeah, our Discord homies. Sweet Summer Fam, if you want to join the Discord, the link will be in the chat. And we have another super chat from Josh Gripe. Another great stream. Missed y'all past couple of weeks. Peace, love, and positive vibes, everyone. Thank you so much for the super chat. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to try to go over to Twitch. If you care about video games, I'll be over there playing Call of Duty if my internet allows me.
Twitch is twitch.tv/this gray area.
That's it. That's it. All right, guys. Thank you all for coming. Shout out to the moderators that moderated the chat. And thanks. And you guys have a... Go ahead.
I was say, don't forget to vote. Just Sam, but
I'm just gonna throw it out there right now.
Ariane, a sun, just in case you missed that.
I'm just gonna throw it out there right now. It looks like the Suns are winning.
I've seen a lot of.
I think
fighters.
I'm assuming the cat is also Aryan because it's a bad pussy.
Oh my god, this picked up right the last time.
All right, we're done. I promise.
All right, guys. So Samuel, use a book. Barris, a spider, and Sons for Ariane, and we will see you guys next week.
What is their hand?
Same time.
I think it's the same
slapping hand. I thought like a hand to slap an ass, and I feel like honestly, they've all got a thick ass. They've all got a thick ass, though. Think about it. You know, Varys has a thick ass.
Oh, girl.
Oh, and make sure you guys watch Fear Street and American Horror Stories because I will have videos coming out on them. Arya Stark. Ara, do you have anything on your channel?
Working on a certain project. Sorry, guys. Wedding planning in full effect. I'm getting married in like 3 months, so my content's been a little bit delayed, but I do have a special project in the works, so that should be hopefully coming soon.
Awesome. All right, guys. We are out. Good night.
You didn't even ask me or Nim if we have anything going on.
Alicia has this.
It's mad rude.
I first of all,
I wasn't gonna announce anything yet, but I just thought
know
it was
you're
rude.
not.
Look,
if you had anything going on, you were not prepared to talk about it.
You know what? I am admittedly one of those people that's like, I find it really fucking rude you didn't invite me. I wasn't gonna come, but you're really fucking rude anyway.
Yeah, that's what that was.
We wanted the opportunity to say no.
Mandy hasn't told me anything. Oh, I know you can follow Mandy's puppy on Insta.
Yes, follow my puppy. Ragnar_the_puppy on Instagram. He's fucking adorable.
Anything else?
No.
All right, guys.
Thank you for asking.
You're welcome.
All right.
Good night. Bye.
Good night.
Bye.